And Oliver Ferry joins me in the studio from our International Affairs Desk. Oliver, what are these leaked papers about and how did they actually come to light?
Well, the leak is one of the big mysteries in Washington at the moment. And as we've heard there, the US government was actually unaware of it for a few weeks while they were circulating around online. They were initially posted on Discord, which is a social media platform used by gamers, and on pro-Moscow Telegram channels. Interestingly enough, an awful lot of game platforms have been used in the past for surreptitious and clandestine communication, particularly by jihadists. So it's quite interesting. It was the best place to hide them, so to speak, and initially get them out there. They were also posted then on pro Moscow Telegram channels as Bellingcat, which is an open source intelligence service, says. The documents contain fairly sensitive information. A lot of them are pertaining to Ukraine and also show instances of the US spying on both enemies and allies. This is the sort of thing that is actually quite common enough, but you don't really want it to be to have to defend it in public. And there are also suggestions that Israel's intelligence services, Mossad, is encouraging anti-government protests at the moment. South Korea also has concerns over the fact that it was allegedly it was shown that its artillery shells that it was selling to the United States, they were worried that they might be sent to Ukraine because they have a policy of not arming countries at war. So, but the leaked documents amount to only about 100 pages so far, and we don't really know if there's any more out there. Washington has no idea who the culprit might be. There's hundreds, possibly thousands of military and government personnel who actually have access, so it could actually be anyone. And also the documents seem to be crumpled physical copies as opposed to electronic ones, which would have been the case with WikiLeaks and the Edward Snowden leaks in the past. So if they are actually physical copies, it's quite unlikely that there will be a release on a massive scale, but we don't know that yet. Former Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger said that the Pentagon needs to get its leak issue in order, fewer people and tighter controls. So he also said that whoever behind the leak should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
Now, what implications do these documents have for the Ukraine war effort?
Well, Ukraine itself is saying that it hasn't changed anything with regard to this expected counteroffensive in recent weeks, but sources say that Kiev has actually altered some military plans. We're obviously not telling us, but Ukraine is also questioning the legitimacy of the leaks. Presidential advisor Mikhailo Polyakov said on his Telegram channel that these were actually not authentic, that they were fabricated by Moscow. Now, there have been alterations to at least one page of the leaked documents. There's a fairly shoddy Photoshop job showing that Ukrainian casualties in the war have been well overshot, and also Russian deaths played down. But there's also information that would have serious implications about Ukraine's war effort, particularly showing that its air defences are very much depleted and its ability to protect its front lines could actually be completely reduced by May 23rd. It also shows us that Russia's air force still has a significant advantage in the war. Its fighter jet capacity is 485 compared to Ukraine's 85. So possibly if Ukraine is not capable of defending itself against aerial bombardments, it could actually be in big trouble. Moscow has suffered very, very badly in the war on the ground, but its air force is still in very, very good shape. So this actually could be significant. There have also been accusations from Russia's military bloggers that Ukraine is actually behind these leaks for its own motives, such as driving support in the West for greater arming and greater funding of Ukraine.
Oliver Ferry, thank you for that analysis.